On today's show, we're covering the NAIA Bowling Championship. We have softball and baseball highlights, a tennis recap, and so much more. Don't go anywhere because the LTU Sports Report starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome into the LTU Sports Report. I'm Genna Rose. Today's show is presented by Lawrence Technological University and sponsored by Henry Ford Sports Medicine. LTU is currently going on a 2-week pause from sports, but we have you covered for this week. So coming up first on today's show, we have a recap of the LTU tennis team. Let's take a look.
I'm Dylan Morello, and this prior weekend, the LTU men and women's tennis teams hit the courts for some action. We'll start here on Friday, where previously the men's run a 5-game losing streak, but came out in this one with high energy and effort to get back in the win column, blanking St. Francis University by a final score of 6-0 as Lucas Obela and Kevin Bowman set the tone for the Blue Devils heading into their next match. This time going up against conference opponent Aquinas College inside the MVP Sportsplex. Alex Tamero was the first singles match where his match went all the way to the final set in a close battle. The day ended in Aquinas' favor, however, beating LTU 5-2. Bouncing over to the women's side of the court now as they're coming back after a handful of games had been canceled due to COVID protocol, showing no signs of rust, however, as the women's tennis team dominated in all aspects of their match play in both singles and doubles by sweeping St. Francis of Indiana by a final score of 6-0. Collecting that confidence, they then took on Aquinas Sunday, another spirited battle led by Eva Ramsimmer, who won her singles match. LTU would sadly fall just short though, losing 3-4.
LTU hosted the NAIA Bowling Championship, which was a 3-day event at 5-Star Lanes. We were there to cover it all.
After a 2-year hiatus, the NAIA National Championships finally unfolded once again, and this year they took place at the home of LTU Bowling in Sterling Heights, Michigan at 5-Star Lanes. After WAC regular season conference victories for both the men's and women's teams, each group was poised to fight for a national championship over the weekend. After 24 games of qualifying on Thursday, the women found themselves sitting comfortably as the number 3 seed. They averaged 198 for the 24 games, earning them a bye and a matchup with the 6-seeded Midland University Warriors. After taking the first 2 games, shooting 196 and 208 in the best 3 of 5 match, they then dropped their next 3 to move down to the losers bracket. Grandview was their next opponent and the script was flipped. LTU lost the first 2 games, but took the next 3 to move on to the next round. The 4-seeded Bears of Pikeville were next up, and it was a back-and-forth match the entire way. The Bears took games 1 and 3, while the Blue Devils took games 2 and 4, bringing the match to a 5th and final game. However, it would be Pikeville who emerged victorious in Game 5, winning 191 to 185. After qualifying as the 1 seed and running the winners bracket, fellow WAC member Indiana Tech ended up taking home the title. After tying Game 1 in the finals, they took 3 of the next 4 games to defeat Midland University. On the men's side, LTU just missed out on a first-round bye, qualifying 7th of 10 to miss the top 6 by just 4 pins. However, they started out strong, taking the first match on Friday morning 3-1 versus 10-seeded Kansas Wesleyan. The Pikeville Bears were up next, but the Blue Devils couldn't get anything going. They were swept by the Bears and moved down to the losers bracket where they faced elimination.
Yeah!
The 8-seed William Penn was up next, and after a strong start taking Game 1, the Blue Devils dropped the next 3, losing the match 3-1, and were ultimately eliminated. It would take a second finals match when St. Francis came out of the losers bracket and defeated Martin Methodist in the first finals match. In the second match, it went to a final Game 5, where the Fighting Saints of St. Francis would clinch it and bring home a banner as 2021 NAIA National Champions. USBC sectionals will be up next for both the men's and women's teams as they attempt to qualify for the Intercollegiate Team Championships, which will be held in early May in Wyoming, Michigan.
We like to find out what our student athletes like to do outside of the sports they play, so let's check out our first Get to Know segment.
My name is Nathan Alton. I'm a freshman at Lawrence Tech University, and I run cross country. My favorite TV show is Dexter, mainly because it's a really good psychological sort of TV show. My favorite musical artist has got to be Electric Light Orchestra. It's a really good use of symphony and sort of like, it's got like that sort of like electric music almost. My favorite vacation spot is like anywhere with like a forest, mainly because I always go up to the Keweenaw Peninsula in Michigan. It's a really nice place. It's kind of like in the middle of nature. My favorite superhero is Big Wheel. I know that sounds like a joke, but that's actually a real thing. I like that just because it's so absurd. My favorite kind of animal has got to be, I'd probably say like a roadrunner, mainly just because it's like an interesting kind of like bird animal, like it runs fast.
We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere because we have softball and baseball highlights when we get back.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back into the LTU Sports Report. Softball recently played a few doubleheaders. Let's check out those highlights.
Lawrence Tech softball hosted conference opponents Cleary University and Concordia University this weekend at the Total Sports Complex in Wixom, Michigan. The team took on a doubleheader against both teams Saturday and Sunday. Starting off Saturday, LTU got going late but pulled out a first game win 6-5. The Blue Devils would go on to drop the second game 8-7, the final. Now Sunday, the first game, LTU couldn't get their bats going until the fourth inning, but once they did, they put up 3 runs thanks to Haley Mazon's home run and Maisie Lawler's base hit up the middle to score Callie Tatum. Later on in the 6th, the Blue Devils put up another 5 runs, putting them ahead 9-2, coming into the 7th inning. But Cleary would rally back with a 9-run inning to win the game 11-9, the final. But LTU wasn't finished yet. Game 2, the Blue Devils came out with a solid 4 runs in the first inning and didn't slow down from there, scoring 8 by the end of the 4th. The LTU offense did a great job capitalizing on their hits in this game by scoring players on base. Michaela Benz shut down the Cougars offense and ended the game with a win 8-5 final.
You know, we've started a lot of games where we're down, and I think our energy we just build our energy up throughout the game. That really helps us to you know pick up the score later in the game, and I think our energy just really helps us. We get more energetic throughout the game, and that took care of it. We just tried to stay loud the whole game, you know. We've always been like a really loud and energetic team. We love cheering each other on and everything, and I think that just like really kept our energy up, especially after Haley hit that home run. We were just so excited, and it was a really fun dugout to be a part of.
The Blue Devils will be back in action on April 14th against Aquinas.
The LTU baseball team recently played against Cornerstone. Let's take a look at how they did.
The Lawrence Tech baseball team traveled to Grand Rapids, Michigan for a weekend matchup against the Cornerstone Eagles. This season started out slow for the Blue Devils, but lately the team has found its rhythm, winning 4 of the last 6 games in an important WAC matchup. Can LTU take the weekend series from the Eagles and raise their stakes in the WAC standings? Starting with Game 1, top of the second. Game still at 0. Blue Devils have 2 runners on base. The freshman, Jacob Naniza, steps to the plate and blasts one to the back of the outfield over the fence. It would be a 3-run home run for the Blue Devils as they take a 3-0 lead over the Eagles. Lawrence Tech would score 2 more times, and the Eagles would storm back in the 7th and 8th inning to tie the game at 5, heading into the 9th inning. Top of the 9th, super senior Sean Phantom is the hero for this one as he steps up to the plate and powers the ball to left field for a scoring single by sophomore Keelan Benazisqui. Lawrence Tech wins Game 1 6-5, the final. On to Game 2, the Eagles would jump all over LTU, jumping out to a quick 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd. The lone scorer for the Blue Devils come from the University of Liggett alum Nick Post. Lawrence Tech would go on to lose this one 6-1, the final.
Now for our final segment of the show, let's feature another LTU student athlete.
Justin Stigler, Jr., golf. Favorite TV show is The Office, just super funny, love that show. A celebrity crush is Scarlett Johansson, just, I don't know, something about her, she's awesome. Favorite superheroes gotta be Iron Man, just because mechanical engineering, it's kind of right up my alley. Favorite activity is dirt biking, just a lot of fun. So favorite animal is lion, just king of the jungle, love that mentality.
That's our show for the week. We hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to follow LTU Athletics on social media for more videos, photos, and articles. You can also listen to our Blue Devils In-Depth podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Again, I'm Genna Rose. Have a wonderful weekend.